Today I'm going to present some challenges that we see in ESL learners or ENL learners and the ways that we can overcome these different challenges. I'm going to present some different activities that we can implement in the classroom, and I'm also going to ask you all for your participation if you guys can present some activities, or if you guys have some activities for how to implement this in the classroom. So why phonetics and intonation matter in ESL? So it improves clarity and pronunciation, which is very, very, very important. For example, I have some Spanish speakers that mix the B and the V sounds. So instead of saying very, or they say, I don't know, I'm very tired, but they want to say I'm very tired, right? So although you may understand what they want to say, it's important for them, I think, also to kind of have to correct, right? To correct that V sound and make sure it's a V instead of a B. So we need to make sure that our ESL learners are improving their clarity and pronunciation. Also, it enhances listening comprehension and boosts fluency and confidence. So in many of my learners, I work with a lot of adults, and a lot of them work for their executives in big companies in Spain, also work for multi-internationals, and they're very concerned about their accent. So it's really important to them. And also it affects meaning and communication, especially with intonation. So we're going to see some examples. Part one, I'm going to start with phonetics. So what is phonetics? The study of sounds. Here I've put the IPA International Phonetic Alphabet here. So we can see the phonemic chart here. This is a chart of voiced sounds. A voiced sound, just to give you some background, is when you make the sound, you feel a vibration in your throat. So for example, E, I, U, for example, all of these sounds require me to use my voice, okay? And then you have unvoiced sounds, which don't require you to use your throat when you're making the sound. So what are some common ESL learner pronunciation challenges? First of all, with the TH sound, this sound does not exist in many languages, and this can lead to substitution. So, for example, Spanish speakers, when they want to say three, they say tree instead of three. Or, for example, my students think that Tuesday and Thursday, that the T in Tuesday and the th in Thursday are the same exact sound, which we know that they're not. Also, French speakers may replace the TH sound with a Z or a D. Okay, and another common challenge that I see is the differentiation between short and long vowel distinctions. So in this case, a short vowel would be the short I sound, which is I in ship, and then a long vowel sound would be the long E sound in this case in sheep. So we got to be careful with the sounds because there can be a lot of misinterpretations with the ship and sheep sound. There are some words I don't want to say right now that can get very confused with those with short and long vowel distinctions. Another one is bit and beat. So this is the short I. So I'm using my stomach as I'm making the sound, and then you have the E, bit, beat. So I also put here that Spanish speakers are affected. We also have Korean speakers that are affected among other backgrounds, not just these ones. So how can we overcome these challenges? There are different phonetic activities that we can implement in the classroom. There are so many, but I've only put two here just to save us some time. One being sound sorting. The focus is on differentiating similar sounds. So as I said, the B and the V, I gave the example before of berry and very. And this activity is really geared towards beginner and intermediate learners. And then also you have sound and movement, which is TPR, total physical response, connecting sounds with physical movement to reinforce learning. This is really great for young learners, and I'm going to delve deeper into that right now in the next slide. Okay, so sound sorting, how do we do that? We prepare word cards with minimal pairs. If you don't know what minimal pairs are, it's what I just explained. So only one sound is differentiating or the two words. So in this case, ship and sheep. So we only have the short I and the long E sound differentiating the two words. Also here, bit and beat. You also might see man and men. That's another example of a minimal pair. So you would say the word and have students place the card in the correct sound category. Okay. So you might have these categories, like we'll say short I sound, long E sound, and you would have the students place the words and the cards in the correct category. You would have students work in pairs and say words to each other while sorting the different words and sounds. Why does this work? It helps learners distinguish commonly confused words, and it reinforces learning and pronunciation. Okay, the other one is sound movement that I said we're using TPR here, total physical response, which I said is great for young learners. So how do you do this? You assign a motion and you say the words out loud. So for example, clap would be for the P sound, stomp would be for the T sound. So you say the words out loud and the students act out the corresponding sound. You can make it a competition among young learners. Okay, who reacts the fastest to what I do? And why this works, it engages kinesthetic learners. So these are learners that they learn through movement. And it reinforces phonics through muscle. So I just want to know, what are some challenges, if anyone can answer, common pronunciation challenges, other ones that I haven't mentioned, that we can see, we could maybe see among ENL learners? Do you guys have any idea? Can you think of any examples? Asking for participation, please. What are some more challenges we could see? You can raise your hand and I'll choose you. Raise your hand with the button. Let's see if anyone answers. I can't see.
We have a hand raised, Jonathan.
Jonathan, thank you.
Rachel, do you know how to ask them to unmute?
Yes, I'm going through the slides now.
If you hover over their picture, you'll see a little ask to unmute, and just click on the word ask.
Okay, yes, I see it, but I'm trying to find Jonathan. Oh, okay, I see. Ask. Okay, I found you, Jonathan. I just asked you to unmute. Yes.
There you go.
Good afternoon.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello.
Please, I just want to ask a question.
Yes.
Please, why is it that some people, when they want to pronounce, sorry, like Rachel, they will say Rachel? Why is it so?
When they want to say what?
Rachel, they will say Rachel. Instead of R, they will put L there.
Ah, it's because the sound doesn't exist in their language. That's why. Okay, it's because the sound doesn't exist. So the example that I was giving here about differentiating sounds, right? So it's because the sound does not exist in their language. That's the problem, right? So this was the example I gave. The TH sound, right? The th doesn't really exist in many languages. So Spanish speakers, for example, will take the T and they'll say, and they want to say three. I don't know. Let me give you an example. I have 3 children, but they say I have 3 children, right? Because this doesn't exist. So in this case, yes, they're trying to find a substitution, right? Yeah, thank you that was a really good question. Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, someone else. Oh,
Balamusa.
Bala Musa.
Yeah, I just want to give two similar words. The th pronunciation, like this, this, and these, these.
This
I
and these. That's a very good. That's a
yeah
very good example.
yeah
So I'm good. Yeah, that's a very good example. So this sound, I'm going to see if I can go to the whiteboard. 1 second. So, well, I will explain it. So, you know this sound that I was saying before, the short here, the I sound, that's called the short I. Okay, so we see that in it and this. Okay, and the other one is these. It's the same sound as this one in sheep. It's a long E sound. So it's this, the sound's coming from my stomach, and these. This, these. Do you hear the difference?
yeah
Yeah. So one is
yeah
a short I and one is a long E sound. Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
thank you.
Yeah. Someone else is raising their hand.
There and there.
Sorry, Paula, I'm going to mute you again, okay? Thank
Yeah.
you so
Okay.
much. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question.
So we see a couple of examples in chat. Dear and dear,
Yes.
there and there.
Yeah, dear and yeah, dear and dear. Okay, someone was asking about dear and dear. There's absolutely no difference in pronunciation with these two words. Okay, this is called a homonym, which means that the words are spelt the same, but they're spelt differently, but pronounced the same. Okay, so we have a lot of words like that. Like, for example, two, I'm going to write it in the chat. Two, I'm going to the park, and the number two. It's the same pronunciation, dear and dear.
You ended up writing that only to me.
Ah, I only wrote it to you. Okay, let me go. Everyone in meeting. Two and
Yeah,
two.
there you go. There you go.
Yes, two and two. Okay, so this is an example of dear and dear. Same pronunciation, different spelling. Okay. Someone, Safo said thought and taught. One is the TH sound. This is a very common, that's why I mentioned it here, because it's very common. I think you mean thought and taught, like that. One is a th sound, and one is a T sound. Thought. You can see my tongue is going through in my teeth, between my teeth. Thought and taught. Okay, I'm going to answer one more, and then I'm going to continue, or we could be here all day comparing all the words. Sit and seat. This is a really good example. Sit, same example here, is a short I, is sit, and seat, seat. It's a long E, the same as sheep. Okay. All right, I'm gonna continue, or we could be here all day. And so now, here's where I'm going to require I gave you guys some examples of activities we can do in the classroom, and I would like you guys to think of other ways that we can implement phonics in the classroom, okay? This is going to require, oh, I think someone's mic is on. A moment. Please, please, please mute
I
if
got it.
you,
I
okay,
took care
thank
of
you.
it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so here, this is going to require, I think it's going to be, Dr. Lambert, I think it's going to be a bit difficult to break everyone off into groups. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys, let's say 5 minutes, okay? I'm going to put a timer for 5 minutes, and I want you guys to think of an activity that you can implement in the classroom, okay? A phonics activity that you can do in the classroom, and how you would do it, and why it would work with ENL learners. Did everyone understand? Put your, put your thumbs up if you've understood me. So think of an activity. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And I will choose randomly. Okay. I'm going to choose randomly. Okay. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay. And in 5 minutes, I will choose someone to present their activity, orally present. Okay. Okay, so you guys can start. You can check on Google. You can use AI to, I don't know, think of something.
See, you're looking for these 4 components to the activity.
Yes, exactly. Name of activity, objective, and level. So what's the objective of the activity? So here's the example of mine. Right? So on my first slide, I put focus, so the objective, the level, who are our learners, how to do it, and why it works. Looking for those 4 things.
Like in Spain, the SH really doesn't exist.
Exactly, exactly. So, for example, if sometimes my Spanish speakers, they say they have a problem with the word seashell or sunshine. So they could say, for example, sunshine or she shell. I always they mix them. They mix the two.
And
However,
so that
this
you could build an activity around working on that.
yeah, exactly. So the difference between the S and the S and the SH sound. Another great way to implement to practice fluency and clarity is tongue twisters. I use tongue twisters a lot with my learners. It's also a great activity, like when you go into the classroom, especially with young learners, even adults, not just young learners. But as a warm-up activity, you can project on the screen a tongue twister, so you can have a tongue twister every day, like this, or the for the week, right? This is the tongue twister of the day or for the week, and you present the tongue twister, and then obviously we want to model how to correctly pronounce. So as teachers, we would do it, and then our students would repeat. Some other activities that I've done, and we're going to see from my intonation part of the, someone has written, reading Play-Doh mats. All your students will need is Play-Doh, a whiteboard marker, and laminated, okay. The student should identify the name, sound of the letter, and form it. You guys can put it in the chat as well. Then they'll identify, okay, Play-Doh mats. Alphabet domain.
That's an interesting activity.
Yeah, yeah. I've done something similar. Yeah, this Play-Doh one, I've done something similar with my preschool students in Spain. So they would have Play-Doh at their desk, and obviously you need to set some ground rules before you start that, or they could start playing and doing things. So always the classroom management, make sure you set ground rules before. So having said that, I would, for example, say a sound. I would go S, and I would have them create the sound with the Play-Doh. So they would create the S with the Play-Doh. Or even I would, for example, let's take the word rain. So you have 4 sounds in rain. You have the you have AI, which is the long A sound. You have 3 sounds. Rain. So I would go A, And okay, let's see, someone else. And so that's a great game, the Play-Doh with students. So thank you, Abdul, for giving us that idea. Hello, dear. What about? Someone said this and these. Okay.
Just a quick clarification. Phonics is pronunciation. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
So it's these are activities to learn to pronounce words correctly.
Activities to learn how to pronounce words correctly. Yeah, exactly. So one of them, the kind of the one that I just mentioned, like sounding out each sound, and then having some like first you need visuals. So they need to understand. They need to understand which sound is associated with, like, you have different letter combinations, right? So AI. So they need to understand that that's the long A sound, and that, for example, rain and bake, the A and bake, those are the same exact sounds. So you have to really teach them all the different letter combinations, for example, that are associated with the A sound. And then you could do activities, like I just said, the Play-Doh one, and you can have them, as you're doing it, repeat, right? So you can go and they can go A, and they could be creating it with Play-Doh. Someone gave the Play-Doh example, and then so they're seeing how it's written, and they're also saying, making the sound out loud. So that's the best way. Not, I mean, it's an example of an activity, but there are so many different other activities we could use. Okay, so someone said reading beginners at word out loud. 1 second. Can be like singing because they will never. Word aloud. Show cue. Can you? I'm gonna go to your. Can you explain your activity to us orally? I'm gonna find you here. Show. Someone said mention something about a song. Don't see. Someone's raising their hand.
Yes, Rickley's. So
Rickley's.
are you trying to activate the microphone of Shoka?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Did you have a question?
I would like to suggest something about that. For example, I remember when I learned English, phonetics, phonology, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for a good pronunciation,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about a stress level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stress level. That means if you use your voice high or low in a word
Mm-hmm.
or in a sentence, it can mean different things. For
Yeah,
example,
exactly.
for
Mm-hmm.
example, if I say I didn't say he stole the money,
Right.
I can say I didn't say he stole the money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a really great point. So actually,
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about is going to be discussed in my presentation right now in the second
Okay.
part. In the
Okay.
second part.
Okay.
Yeah, we have syllable stress. So for
Yeah.
example, syllable stress would be like taking the word record, right, to record a video versus
Mhm.
record.
Yes.
Right, record,
Mhm.
record. That's
That.
syllable stress. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
and then what you're talking about is word stress and intonation. So,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
thank you
correct.
so much. Yeah, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay. That.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue because I'm seeing the time, and just for time purposes. Okay. So, understanding intonation, as I just I was just discussing, intonation is the rise and fall of pitch in speech. It affects meaning and emotions in communication, right? So if I say, I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. It totally changes the meaning, depending on where we put the stress in the sentence, on which word we put the stress on. So you have types of intonation patterns, rising, falling, and mixed intonations. You have sentence examples, which would be questions, statements, and exclamations. So let's look at some common ESL learner intonation challenges. Challenge. So many learners speak English with little variation in speak, making them sound robotic or uninterested. So sometimes they might sound like they're angry or upset, but they're really not. It's because in their native tongue, they don't have that intonation or pitch when they're speaking. So for example, this is really common among Chinese, Japanese, Korean speakers. So for example, I had a great time at the party. And you think, wow, I mean, I've worked with Germans as well. And it's like, I had a great time at the party. And you're like, did you have a great time? Or because you seem upset or you seem angry. So it's really important that we teach our ESL learners about intonation and pitch and where to put the stress in the word, where we see that rising and falling intonation, so that they're not being misinterpreted by others. Okay, so for example, I had a great time at the party. We would want to say this like, I had a great time at the party. So I had a great time at the party. My voice is going up, that's rising intonation on great. And then it's falling. I had a great time at the party. So this sounds more natural and expressive. Okay, more common intonation challenges. So for example, some learners mistakenly use a rising tone for statements, making them sound uncertain about something. I went to the store and I bought some apples. It's like, oh, are you unsure or did you do that? So they really want to make a statement. They're not asking a question. This is common sometimes among Spanish speakers and French speakers. So we would want to say, I went to the store and bought some apples. I went to the store, my voice is falling, and bought some apples. My voice is falling again. Another challenge, some learners put stress on the wrong words or fail to pause naturally, making sentences difficult to understand. So, I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say she stole the money. So, what is this? I want to ask if someone can raise their hand. What is the meaning if I say I didn't say she stole the money versus I didn't say she stole the money? So here, can someone explain further what I want to say with this? What is the meaning of this and what is the meaning of this sentence? Raise your hand if you know what I'm trying to say and the difference. I didn't say she stole the money versus I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe we could get, who can answer? Chat? I'm going to check the chat. They sound the same. John and Vincent, they sound the same. They sound the same. No. Who can hear the difference? Okay. Shokyu? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Raised his hand or her hand.
It's like saying they don't sound the same.
Yeah. Someone raised their hand. Doreen. Okay, Doreen. You can unmute. Can she unmute herself? Yeah. Doreen. I'm looking for you.
Thank you. They
Yes.
don't sound the same.
Thank
One,
you.
yes, you stressed, one has a stress on it, and the other one just sounds normal. A normal
Okay.
tone, the other one has a stress on
Exactly.
it. So, yes, the two of them don't sound normal.
Okay, they sound different to you. Stress
Yeah.
on say indicates doubt, and the other is confident. Someone said it in the chat as well. Yes, okay. Okay, yeah, great. Okay. Perfect. So I'm now going to move on to the next slide. How can we overcome these challenges with word stress and intonation? I'm going to now present 2 activities that we can use. The first one is called an emotion challenge. The objective focus of this is expressing different emotions through intonation. This can be used with beginner and intermediate learners. The other one is storytelling with intonation. And the focus of this would be practicing natural speech, speech rhythm and expression. And this is more for intermediate and advanced learners. Okay, let's take a look deeper. Okay, the emotion challenge. How to do it. You write neutral sentences on the board. So for example, if I'm the teacher and I have the board, I would put, I can't believe it. Are you serious? Okay. And I would assign different emotions to each student. Okay, so I would say, okay, I don't know, Paula, you're going to be excited. Irene, you're going to be angry. Pablo, you're going to be bored. I'm using Spanish names because I work with Spanish people. So you would assign different emotions, okay? And then students would take turns reading the sentence with the assigned emotion while the class guesses how they feel. So for example, if I assign excited to Paula, I would say, okay, Paula, read this sentence I just put on the board and sound excited. I can't believe it. Are you serious? And then angry, be like, I can't believe it. Are you serious? And all this, and the students, the rest of the class would then have to guess which emotion their classmate is portraying. So this is really great. Obviously, you need to, before you jump into this activity, we always need to, as teachers, we always need to model. Okay, so we need to model, we need to show them how to do it. So you might, do some kind of an activity with emotions before you do this intonation game. Storytelling with intonation, one of my personal favorites as a teacher. Choose a short dialogue or story with different emotions. You can pick a funny or dramatic story. You can read it out loud with correct intonation. Exaggerating. I always say when you read to your students, it's really important to exaggerate. Okay. And then have students repeat after you, mimicking your intonation. And then in pairs, students read the story using different tones and emotions. So here, you might tell a group of students, okay, you're going to read the story being angry. Okay, you're going to read the story excited. You're going to read the story like you're bored. So why does this work, and why do both of these work? It helps students understand how intonation affects meaning and emotions. It also builds confidence, the storytelling, and fluency in natural speech patterns. Okay, any questions about these 2 games that we could implement? You can ask in the chat. Any questions about this?
You know, when I was learning Spanish, I always felt I never learned Spanish until I could express my emotions through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I felt like I really learned Spanish.
Oh, okay. Oh, you speak Spanish.
Yes.
Okay. Where did you learn?
Oh, I first started I got a book, Tesoro de la Sierra Madre.
Uh-huh. Oh, you have a good
And so
accent.
I just got a dictionary, started to translate it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I started watching TV and telenovelas.
Right. That's also a really great way. I always tell my Spanish students, or any of my ENL learners, it doesn't have to just be Spanish, so important to watch, I don't know, listen to podcasts, watch series, watch films in English. Also putting the subtitles in English, not in their native. They say, oh, well, I'm going to put the subtitles in my native tongue. No, even if you don't understand, put the subtitles in English and look at the words and look how they're pay attention to their emotions, their intonation, and their pitch. So this is really important.
Yeah, I think that emotion challenge, activity that you have there is really great for anybody trying to just get comfortable with another language. Is really
Yeah.
try to express your emotions through the language.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, so the next part, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the phonics. So let's think of other ways that we can implement intonation in the classroom. Same thing we just did. You can put it in the chat. I'd rather have you guys speak orally instead of having me speak this whole time. With the name of activity. So this is directed towards at intonation, okay? Intonation in the, not phonics. Name of activity, objective and level, how to do it, why it works. So the same thing I just presented to you all. So I'll give you a few minutes. I'm going to take a look at the chat. Interesting course. Can I have please the PDF of the course in the email? You will receive the presentation. Yeah, Dr. Lambert, who am I going to be sending the presentation to after this?
Well, if they go to their student portal in about 2 days, the presentation should be, there's a link to download the presentation.
Okay, perfect.
You can also just upload your presentation to the chat here too. So
okay, perfect. I probably will do that as well. I will do it at the end. Okay.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
a good time to do it.
yeah, I'm not going to do enough. Okay, so let's take a few minutes. I'm going to put a timer for about 3 minutes. You guys can check through Google. What are other intonation activities we can implement in the classroom? Let me see the chat again. Video warm-ups, regardless of whether you're teaching intonation for the first time or you've simply reviewing material you covered last week. Okay. Video warm-ups. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that kind of goes the video warm-ups idea. So showing a video at the beginning of class about a topic that's related to what they're learning. That's a good idea. It goes back to what I was saying about watching series or movies in English. Okay. Perfect. Any other ideas of activities that we can use? Okay. Okay, focusing on the main word in the sentence. Intermediate stress, the subject, object, or verb. It depends on the sentence. Okay. Give you guys a few more minutes. I see some people are coming in last minute to this. Okay. Whispers, subtle stresses of syllables. Say a sentence using whisper stresses. For example, Dr. Lambert's giving this example. Can you give us an example?
Like if you're going to whisper, sometimes you have to whisper with a little stress
Yeah.
because
Yes,
you
okay.
want that certain part to be heard.
Yeah, exactly. Please be quiet. Yeah. Please be quiet. I'm putting the stress on quiet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, another great way to implement intonation is something called readers theater. This is really great for the little ones. I don't want to say little ones because also adults might enjoy this as well. So you assign you can find a script, like a theater script online. There are so many free materials that you can find online. You can find, for example, on the website, Teachers Pay Teachers. They have some scripts there, and you can assign a theater script to a group of students, and you can assign them each characters, and you can say, okay, you're going to be angry, you're going to be excited, and you have them perform in front of the class. It's also a great confidence booster. a great way to improve fluency. And please, is there any app that someone asked? Jonathan, please, is there any app that someone can use in order to be better in phonetics? Yeah, I've heard of some applications out there, but I don't know if they're that great. A lot of these language learning apps like Babbel, for example, I don't know if you guys know what Babbel is. Babbel, I'm also seeing something, yeah, ELSA. I'm putting these in the chat. Apps to improve pronunciation. ELSA Speak, Say It, English pronunciation. Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, these are some resources. I'm going to show some of the resources that I've provided to you guys. But we're going to close the class here practicing some tongue twisters. So I'm going to demonstrate them for you, and I'm going to have you guys repeat after me, okay? So I'm going to choose a tongue twister. Someone has mentioned an activity. Okay, I will get back to that in the chat. Okay, so let me show you some tongue twisters. One moment. I'm going to share my entire screen now. Okay. Okay, so first I'm going to read it, try to pronounce it with the best fluency that I can. And I'm going to pick a tongue twister that's very difficult with a sound that we see, as I mentioned in my presentation, there's a lot of confusion, right, with the T sound and the TH sound. So we have here, okay, so I'm going to read it, and I would like someone to participate and try it, okay? So first I will go. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tickle. I'll say it again. It also helps with your learners if you go a little bit faster. So you can say, okay, faster, okay, faster. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tickle. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tickle. I'll try to go faster. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tickle. Okay, who wants to try this tongue twister? Raise your hand if you dare to try. Jonathan, go for it.
We can't hear you yet. Activate your microphone.
Yes, activate your mic.
The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tinkle.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. Okay. Try to go faster now.
Okay, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the toes with tips to tinkle.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of funny, huh? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Okay. I'm going to try another one, okay? So you can go ahead and mute your mic again. Thank you so much for participating. I'm going to try another one. Okay. Whew. A big black bug bit a big black bear, made a big black bear bleed blood. Again. A big black bug bit a big black bear, made a big black bear bleed blood. Who would like to try that one?
Justina is ready to go.
Okay, go for it.
The big black bug bit a big black bear, made a big black bear bleed blood.
Woo!
Yeah, good. Okay. Okay. Try it again, a little faster.
Okay, let me start. A big black
Okay.
bug bit a big. Wait. Let me start again.
Okay.
I was distracted. I'm in the office, so I was distracted.
It's
Hey,
okay.
from Kenya.
Okay. Okay.
Let me start.
Okay.
A big black bug bit a black bear, made a big black bear bleed blood.
Good. Awesome.
I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Mute again. Okay. We're going to try another one, and then I'm going to show you another good worksheet that I'm also going to add to your resources. So you guys will have access to it. I'm going to show this one after, but I'm going to do one more tongue twister before I show that worksheet. Okay, the next one I'm going to choose is, okay. Unique New York, unique New York, you know you need unique New York. This one's hard for me. Unique New York, unique New York, you know you need unique New York. Who would like to try that one? Raise your hand.
Justine, are you ready to go?
Again? Justine?
Okay, let me try. Unique New York, unique New York, you know you need unique New York.
Ooh.
That was good, that was good. Yeah. Can you do it faster?
Shoko, are you ready?
Choka, yeah.
I do it faster, sir. I do it faster. Okay. Unique New York, unique New York, you know you need unique New York.
That's good. Okay,
I'm
Shoko wants to do it. I think.
Unique New York, unique in New York. You know you need unique New York.
Woo.
Good. Okay. Try it again. Try one more time.
Unique New York, unique in New York. No, you need unique in New York.
Great, great. Okay, so we can see that, okay, everyone can mute their mics again. So yeah, we can see that these are really fun in the classroom. Kids, adults love it. It's funny. It's fun to be act like kids again, and not be so serious in the classroom. So it's really fun and interesting to implement in the classroom. It's really great for fluency. It's great to sometimes, ENL learners, especially advanced ENL learners, they speak really quickly and they're making a lot of pronunciation errors, but sometimes they need to slow down. And so when you slow down, unique New York, it really forces you to focus on each word and each sound. So this is really, really great for intonation and pronunciation. I'm going to also now show another resource that is great for intonation. Let me open that. Okay. Okay, so here, this is when we are reading out loud like a list or enumerations. We use rising, rising, rising on the first, I don't know, depending on the words, 3, 4, 5 words. And on the last word, it falls, your voice falls. So 1, my voice is going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to buy fruit, coffee, milk, sugar, and meat. My voice goes down. So rise, 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 fall. English is spoken in England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. Okay, so I would like more volunteers for this one. Volunteer. For example, 28, number 28. Who can do that one for me? So rise, 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 fall. Any volunteers? 2 participants.
I'm calling on Doreen. I think Shoka's ready to go.
Okay, Doreen, go for it.
Yes, please. Which one am I reading?
28, 28.
Okay. He speaks English, French, German, and Spanish.
Okay, let's try that again. He speaks English, French, German, and Spanish.
Okay, he speaks English, French, German, and Spanish.
Good, that was good. Okay, awesome. Joku, do you want to try 29?
Oh, okay. We can travel east, west, north, or south.
Okay, and 30?
You can have beer, whiskey, wine, sherry, or soft drinks.
Okay, great. Okay, Now, the other one I wanted to show is rising and falling intonation when we have two choices, okay? We can either go out or stay home, or we can stay home. We can either go out or we can stay home. So who would like to try number 32? A volunteer for 32. Justina? I hope I'm saying your name correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yes,
can try
yeah.
30.
So I try number 32.
Yeah? Yes.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like, let me try.
Okay.
Would you like tea or coffee?
Great. That was perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Would you like tea?
Yeah. Would you like tea?
Would you like tea or coffee?
That's it. Your voice went up and down. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm going to choose one more and then we're going to wrap things up here for questions.
Ooh, we have some new names coming in. Corto.
Yeah. Koto. Hi. How are you? Can you try number 33 for us?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Are they American or British?
Good. Yeah. Are they American or British? Good. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to stop there with that. Thank you so much for participating. You guys have been so great. You guys can all mute again. Any questions you have related to this related to today's class, you can put in the chat or you can raise your hand.